I really can't stay.
But Brian, it's cold outside.
I've got to go away.
But Brian, it's cold outside.
This evening has been
hoping that you drop in.
so very nice.
I'll hold your hands, they're just like ice.
Crystal will start to worry.
Handsome, what's your hurry?
Nola will be pacing the floor.
Listen to the fireplace roar.
So I really better scurry.
Handsome, please don't hurry.
Maybe just a half drink more.
Put some REM on while I pour.
The neighbors might think,
Brian, it's bad out there.
say, what's in this drink?
Oh, we call that the Janikowski. Merry, Merry Christmas.
Welcome to the Tonto Bull 14 preview show. I'm Detonators Tonto Bull 6 champ, sitting alongside.
Matt Detling, Tonto Bowl 1 and 3 champ.
And I thought you were going to finish that.
I do not want to curse myself, Brian.
Yeah, it's too early to do that.
It's definitely too early.
But we were just talking. Oh, and by the way, side note, we did that song on one take. Delling wrote some chicken scratch down, and we just sang it.
Yes, we did.
I mean, you can probably tell.
Yes, there's little muffles. We scribble a couple words, but it's all right. It's all right. Still, it was all in the spirit of Christmas and a little bit of date rape.
Little bit of date rape, yeah.
Which a lot of people take the real version of the song for nowadays.
It's the creepiest line in all of Christmas songs. I mean,
It is. Yeah.
that poor girl is like wondering what's in that drink. She got Cosby'd.
Yeah, but back then it wasn't a Cosby.
It was still like putting something in the drink, like at least alcohol, just so they wouldn't leave, just so they couldn't leave.
True. And in the 50s, 60s, 40s or something, maybe?
Yeah.
I didn't know when that was. Maybe 30s? Who
I'm
knows
not
when that
sure.
drink or that song was? You couldn't, what were you supposed to do? Go to the cops, say, you put something in my drink? Cop was like, get out of here.
Go write a song about it.
You're crazy.
Which
home,
she
bake a
did.
pie.
Yeah. Who are we gonna believe? You?
Or
You crazy broad?
Yeah, you're crazy. The housewife or the guy that goes to work 40 hours a week and he brings home the dough.
Even if he is drunk, 80% of the time,
80%.
we still believe him.
It's right, because he's a man.
Do you miss those days?
No, I don't miss those days.
I was trying to get you to fall into a trap.
Oh, really? No, I wouldn't fall into it. I mean, I don't think I'd be a man's man back in those days.
Couldn't live in the Mad Men's world?
I don't think I could, actually. I don't think I'd like it.
Nah, me neither. But anyways, let's get into this. Delling, we were talking before we got on air. When was the last Tonto Bowl you were involved?
As far as I can figure, Brian, it was against you.
Tonto Bowl 6?
Yes. Was it Tonto Bowl 6?
When I won.
Okay, it was Tonto Bowl 6. And it was so long ago that I remember it like yesterday. I came from work, and I think I went to Bigler's house to see the final, because it was so long ago that Jay Cutler was my starting quarterback, and he played for the Broncos, and I think he was a rookie. I'd have to check it out, but he was maybe second or third year, and I got excited, and I was like, Bigler was there up in his room, and his room was wood paneling in it. It's where he played chess on the computer, and he was watching the scores, and I go, what? And I think I was losing, but then Cutler, of all things, had two rushing touchdowns. Instead of passing, because he was passing lights out back then, except for that one game.
Rushing touchdowns are still worth more.
Yeah, you're like, I remember listening to it on the radio a little bit ago. Oh my God, Cutler goes up the middle for a 2-yard touchdown. Yes. And like I can't remember what the exact scores it was going into the Sunday night game. Yeah. And I think I was up a little bit.
I think you were too.
And I remember, because I was up a little bit, and I had Steve Smith, and you had Brandon Jacobs.
Yeah, that's right.
And I remember going, I've got a shot at this because Brandon Jacobs doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
And I've got Steve Smith, like one of the best receivers. This is 2006, and he's still playing
Yeah.
at a high level. And it was not meant to be. And I don't want to talk about the rest of it.
The rest is history.
Yeah. Oh, no, I remember it was a Tennessee Titans defense versus the Steelers that day, too. And that helped me out. It was huge.
I can't believe you remember all those minute details.
Well,
Yeah, I guess it stings a little bit, you know.
It does think, Brian, it's the last Tonto Bowl I was ever in.
When was the other Tonto Bowl? I know you're 2-2, correct?
I am. I'm 2-2.
What was it like? You were in obviously 1-3. Which other one did you lose?
I lost to Kevin Bean.
What year was that?
I believe I was in Vegas, or the year after Vegas or something.
Okay.
Or before, I can't remember, but yeah, because Kevin called and sang "Fly Eagles Fly" to me on the phone,
nice.
like the whole song.
Yeah.
Because he destroyed me in the final. It was a large margin.
But what year was that? Like what?
I don't know.
I don't either.
1, 2, 3. I have no idea.
But I remember our Tonto Bowl.
Maybe it was 4, or it was either 4. I think it was 4 because
Okay.
I won, Craig won, I won, and then I think Bean won twice.
Okay.
He won back to back.
Yeah.
I don't know. Craig's probably
Yeah.
shaking his head saying you're completely wrong.
Right, and he'll put it in the lineup.
Yeah. So I'll just say I'm wrong.
If memory serves me correct, we both had gigantic scores in our Tonto Bowl. I think I topped 200, and you either topped it or almost topped it.
198 or something.
Yeah. There's some really respectable scores, unlike the matchup from last week with Gags and Josh.
That was probably the shittiest matchup in playoff history.
Oh, I know. I mean, the sad thing is not many people will remember it because it's like the semifinal.
Yeah.
Like, we might kind of remember it, but you're going to remember the Tonto Bowl, so Gags is saved by that.
I will never let anybody forget.
Never forget the semifinal.
Neither will Nola.
She's like, I remember that shit show.
Yeah, she was like, your team sucks, Gags. Go on.
I didn't look at it specifically, but I think almost every team except for Josh would have beaten Gags.
I believe so. I think I really wanted to play Gags. I was willing to give it up. I'd let Josh play Crick if he wanted to. But because I knew I could beat him this week. I knew it.
And you would have.
I would have crushed him.
Yeah.
Gags would have been nothing. He would have been sucking his thumb, twiddling his little fishing lure. Oh, woe is me.
Save it for unfinished business, all right? Save it.
Okay.
So anyways, congratulations on making it to the final. And
Thank you.
it's been a long time. Well, I guess only 2 years since one of us has been in the final. We're that good. But then again, everybody's like laughing because we don't finish the deal. So Delling, I'm counting on you. I'm really counting on you because
Keep it on the West Coast?
keep it on the West Coast, keep it in Pittsburgh, save me some miles, save us both paying for the gas money for Craig and Jutt, save us
Very
like
true.
the Wawa meal. Like,
Yeah.
oh man, there's a lot riding on this.
There is. And plus, I would like to say, well, maybe I'll hold for unfinished business.
All right, let's get into it right now.
Okay. Unfinished business.
All right, do you want to start off or do you want me to?
I'll let you start.
All right, I got a few things.
Oh, wow.
Man, a lot of them are about Gags. I mean, I think it's fitting because he's the guy going to the big dance.
True.
And first of all, he starts Adrian Peterson. And I was shocked by this. I know that, like, it's, like, so tempting. It's like that shiny new toy. Well, old toy in this case.
Shiny old toy.
Yeah, that you found, like, in the bottom of your, whatever, toy bin.
Transformer, so to speak.
Yeah.
I guess you pulled it out. Oh my gosh.
I still have this? Does it still work?
Optimus Prime.
Clearly, it doesn't work. Clearly, it broke in your hands when you're trying to transform it. But I kind of get why you did it because there's that potential. But, I mean, they were saying he wasn't going to do a whole lot. They said he was going to ease back in. And it almost cost you. It almost cost you. I know Frank Gore did pretty well.
Yeah.
And that could have been the difference.
Yeah, and let's be honest, he did it because he thought Josh's team was so bad.
Yes.
And I think you'd take it as a slap in the face
Right.
that he wouldn't even start his best players against you.
Yeah, with that three wide penis.
Yeah, 3 wide penis.
He just took it out and slapped Josh
yeah.
right in the face.
Yeah, he slapped you with his penis wine.
Yeah.
And also, Josh, you should also take this as a sign of never trading with Gags again.
Right.
Because me and Brian talked about this. Brian and I talked about this, and we basically determined that you guys just did a version of the Dallas Cowboys, Minnesota Vikings Herschel Walker trade. You got AB,
Yep.
who's, I guess you could call him Herschel Walker, and then you traded McCoy, Des Bryant, and Kelsey, if I'm correct.
Yeah. There's some other jabronis in there.
Was it other? Well, yeah, whatever Gags gave,
Yeah.
but those don't really count. But there's like 3 first-round picks. in the NFL.
Yeah.
So you Herschel what's his name? Walker. Herschel Walkered yourself.
Right. And you're lucky enough to get in the playoffs because you got Tom Brady.
Yeah, and it sure was not any help from AB.
No.
Because you didn't have AB. Somehow, Gags wound up with AB again.
I know.
So maybe it wasn't Herschel Walker because he got Herschel Walker belt. Yeah, the magician. Unbelievable, Josh. So yeah, well now it really makes me mad. All right, and my piece of unfinished business goes out to pretty much the whole league. Go laughing at my Jonathan Stewart pick in the third round. Oh, that's terrible.
You laughed at yourself.
Well, I still picked it.
Yeah.
So I picked Jonathan Stewart. Look who's laughing now. Jonathan Stewart ripping off runs, 10 yards, da-da-da-da-da. You guys all in the playoffs. Everybody said I wouldn't win. Everybody said I wouldn't be here. Everybody picked Brian. Craig was laughing at me, saying how bloody unlikely I'm going to make it. And then even Brian was saying, he goes, "Oh, I'm pulling for you against Jim, but in my head, I think you're going to lose." And you can't say something like that. That's like, there's no 50-50. For my heart and for my head, yeah, but we're not with the podcasters of power. Now,
So throw facts out the window.
This is a friendship, Brian. And yeah, and even when I went against Crick, everybody's picking against me. But I'd like to commend, there's only one man out there I knew that had my back the whole time. One man that was rooting for me in this whole league. That man was Brandon Bigler himself. That's the one guy I could count on. If he wasn't playing against me, that guy was rooting for me the whole way. He's, I want Matty to win. So thank you, Bigler. I appreciate everything. Thank you for picking up Ty Montgomery, even though I didn't need the help, but it was still a great move. I know it upset Jim and a couple other people probably, but hey, you do you, Bigler. Just because you're out of it don't mean you can't pick somebody up and shake it up a little bit. That's part of the league. That's part of the fun. Everybody's talking about, why can't we do something with the people that are out of the playoffs and make it fun? Well, Bigler's making it fun for himself.
It's true.
So I commend you, sir. I raise the glass, and hey, if I win this championship, buddy, I'll buy you a Seabreeze. And you know exactly what I'm talking about, wherever we're at next year. So thank you very much, and all you other guys can suck it. And if I win, it's all me and Bigler
And a little bit.
and the West Coast, because the West Coast still doesn't want to drive to the East Coast.
That's right. The West Coast is the best coast. I do have to take a little beef with that. All I have to say is, pound for pound, player for player, Crick still had a better roster than you. You outperformed him clearly. However, I still think that he outpower ranks you. But you got the best of them. That's why all that matters is that you get to the playoffs. Anything can happen. I'm not saying that you have to have a decent squad, because you get into the playoffs and you have a squad like Trees Ice, no offense, but like this year he was crippled. So you can't come limping into the playoffs. But if you have a respectable squad, you'd be better off just taking those bingo balls, throwing them in, shaking it up, and picking out a ball and being like, hey, we've got a winner. Because that's what it comes down to. You do all the work during the regular season, and it pays off in the playoffs.
I'd like to state for the record, you're talking about pound for pound and player for player, better roster here. Nola would also like to argue as well. Sure, I might be able to give you Aaron Rodgers versus Kirk Cousins, but that's another piece of unfinished business. You guys all laughed at me when I said Cousins is taking me all the way to the championship. You're like, oh, I can't believe you're picking up Roethlisberger.
That was a good call.
And I was like, what are you talking about? And Brian even thought all the way until midnight or whatever, the last minute, I was going to switch it just as a joke.
I think you just forgot.
I did not just forget. It was Cousins or bust.
Because you didn't look at your phone. You didn't know what time it was.
I know what time it is all the time. Anyway, back. You can't tell me you're like Allen Robinson, bum. Des Bryant's decent. Jamison Crowder, he's all right. But you can't tell me his receiver core was anywhere near as good as Jordy Nelson, Amari Cooper, and Deshaun Jackson with Fast Willie Smead on the bench. You can't tell me that Carlos Hyde and Kenneth Farrow, or whatever his name is better than Stewart and Dixon. You can't tell me that Delaney Walker is better than Greg Olson. You can tell me that David Johnson is better than Tyler Eifert. What, are you going to try to argue with me about Delaney Walker versus Greg Olson?
Yeah.
I think pound for pound we should look at the stats. I think I'm right. Tucker's better than Sturgis. all the time. And Seattle defense, buddy. There's no way.
Look at his bench.
Look at his what? Carolina defense?
Carolina defense.
He never put Carolina this year.
Forte, who got hurt. He's
Forte's what?
he's
Better than
much-
Stewart?
Oh yeah.
No way. He's
Better than both of your
he
running
is
backs
hit
put
or
together.
miss,
You look
big
at
time.
You look at Forte's track record this year. He was consistent.
He was not consistent.
Yeah, he was.
Get out of here. My team was better all around. That's all there is to it.
No way.
There was. 179.15 to 139.40 states the facts. So,
It proves my point that anybody who gets in has a chance to win. And I'm not saying because like I didn't win. I'm just saying like if I won the Taunton Bowl, I'd say the same thing. It's like it's a crapshoot when you get in the playoffs. And it's the same way it is in the NFL. You get in, you gotta make the plays, and you get lucky a little bit, and you win.
That's right.
Otherwise, you don't.
right.
So that's all I'm saying. But he still has a superior team.
He does not have a superior team. You're out of your mind. You're so wrong, Brian. It's ridiculous. Don't. And this is what Brian tries to do. He tries to take away my credibility. He tries to take away my achievements. I'm in a championship. Brian's jealous. And he's trying to say that Jimmy Crick has a better team than me, even though I'm there on the top totem
I'm
pole.
happy you won. I wanted you to win.
Yeah, in your heart, but in your head, there's no way.
I did not believe you would.
I mean, this is like, it's like what? Like some guy, you know, like,
Seinfeld.
yeah, it's
Playing
like,
chess.
no, this is like, yeah, we give
Against his
Seinfeld
penis.
against his penis.
You remember that episode?
No, I don't.
It's
Anyways,
his brain going against his penis.
oh, okay,
Yeah.
I got you. Where he doesn't, where he was reading all the time and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm trying to say this is like, you know, like when you were a kid and one of your dumb friends was like, with BMX bikes, he's gonna make a jump of like 7 bodies or something like that, and you're like, I really wanted to make it. But in your head, you're like, no way, poor Jimmy's going to get crushed by the back wheel. That's what you were thinking with your head.
No, I
So,
wasn't.
yes, it was.
All right, my next piece of unfinished business goes out to Gags. Well, it goes out to the whole league, but this goes out to the whole league. So,
Hold on, pause. Nola is handoff. Like the Heisman.
I have a feeling that in the back of Gag's mind, he's thinking that he has a chance to start to make a dynasty run. Because he won only 3 years ago. He only needed 4 and 7. Now, I don't think that this is ever going to actually happen, but I think that's where his head is. I think his head's a little too big. If you saw on the lineup, he also planned out his entire menu. He got the salmon with, what was the side?
Ribs.
Ribs. So yeah, salmon and ribs. It's like he's got it all planned out, mapped out. He's already saying I'm going to use my winnings to play in this other money league, the big money league. Like he's got all of his like ducks lined up, but he's got to win, you know. And I don't think he's going to win. I think he's pissed off the fantasy gods. But more importantly, I have 5 letters written down here, which I don't think Matthew figured out.
I won. I just looked at it.
It's in code because I didn't want you to respond, and it's nothing negative, but this entire season was sealed weeks ago. I don't know, it must have been like week 7 when Jimmy Huber and Craig Gabisic came together and they made the meme of you.
Make Tonto's demise great again.
And I feel like if Trump wins the presidency, which he did in the the whole electoral college, they confirmed it. That is a shoo-in. Dentley is going to win. Like they made the meme, and now it must be. So Gags, I mean, you could play whoever you want, but it's already over. It's a foregone conclusion that Dentley is going to win this week. So you can forget about the dynasty. You can forget about your salmon and ribs. I mean, you could pack a little lunch when you come to Pittsburgh. Bring your salmon and your ribs. We'll put them on the barbecue. We'll cook it for you. You can have it. You can enjoy it. But you're going to be eating alone. And
That's true. It's true.
is going to be laughing his ass off. And we're going to get him maybe a Donald Trump wig to wear at the draft. Oh, that'd be beautiful.
That would be amazing.
So
I'm gonna wear a suit too.
That's my analysis. Like even before we go into like talking about the players don't matter. You've got this because of what they did.
It's true. You guys should really watch. And I didn't even respond.
I know.
Of course, I did respond, but it didn't even go through. Because remember, it was just you just saw my mouth moving.
That's right. That's
So
right.
nobody
You
actually
tried
got
do
to
the
hear what I
video.
said.
Yeah.
So I didn't say anything. I did not make fun of you guys or call you any bad names or.
It's funny because it's like the opposite of what Trump would do.
Right, yeah, exactly. I did not go to Twitter
Yeah.
and tweet like crazy and tell all my followers to throw garbage at your house or something.
Yeah.
But MTGGA. I did not figure that out.
Make Tonto's demise great again, and I believe that Detling will. I think that he's going to go onto his table by himself, and Gags, you're going to be trying to figure this one out for another 8 months at least. Figure out what happened. What did I do wrong?
I like it. Okay, the next part of our unfinished business has to do with Craig Kubicek.
Irrelevant Craig Kubicek.
Irrelevant, Mr. Irrelevant, Craig Kubicek. Was he 10th place, 11th place?
I don't know.
He's bottom 4. I
think.
He didn't make the regulation in the soccer world, so he is out. You're on the bottom. You're in the B League next year, Craig.
Right. Yeah.
Sorry, but no. So every year, my dad, out of the kindness of his heart, goes and he melts down chocolate, bakes chocolate, makes these cashew and raisin
delicious
chocolate cups, and it's a lot of work. He makes the kitchen's a mess, and so everybody like Justin.
2 boxes.
What's that?
I usually get 2 boxes.
Yeah, Brian usually gets 2 boxes. He thanks everybody, sends them cards and all that stuff, and he gives them hugs. But yeah, Justin, the work family, Foy, everybody. So my dad, goodness of his heart, does all the work, then hands me the boxes to hand them off to my friends. And you would think that this gesture of kindness and generosity would be rewarded with, oh, thank you very much. I really appreciate it on the holidays. I don't get much, and I appreciate some chocolate. It's really nice that somebody's thinking about me. But no, Craig has the audacity to ask me to tell my dad to ask him if I can ask. I said, hey, can you tell Doug to make these candies with only cashews, a special order,
and
no raisins, because I give the raisins to this guy named Bob or something that I don't know who he is. He works at Rizzo's. I don't know if he's like a guy down the dishes that does the dishes. Whatever.
Bob's my uncle. Huh?
Right, the weird uncle they want to be around. So I didn't even get the chance to tell my dad, but then I finally told him. I was like, oh yeah, hey dad, when you make those candies, Craig asked, and he goes, oh yeah, I know. Craig asked me at Rizzo's. He came out and asked me about the candies, if you could make cashews, go out of my way to do something completely different from what I normally do. And I agreed. I did it for him. I know. But similar to if to speak to the Hubers, to be like where you have your roller derby and you got to make like a mass thing of 80 shirts for people, but then there's like one special girl that comes up and like, hey, can you make one this way, with my nickname in it or something like that? But you got to completely make a whole new print or whatever and do all this other work unnecessary. So I unfinished business with Craig over that. I mean, what gives you the balls to take somebody's gift and then try to tweak it? I mean, that's a total George Costanza move.
It's a Costanza move.
Yeah, and then the more I think about it, you are George Costanza. Like, you're short and stocky. You are going bald as well. You can't deny that. You do have a bald spot in the back, and I'm loving it. And I'm loving watching it grow. I check it every time. And you do certain things like that. Like I do, I mean...
Does he tip well?
I don't know if he tips well. I've never really paid attention.
Costanza's guilty of only tipping when people are looking.
Right. And Costanza does stuff like when he's dating, he'll be dating like a really hot girl or something, like it's not good enough, whatever, something's wrong with her. Stuff like that. And I'm sure Craig has those moments too. But Craig hasn't dated somebody in a while. So that we know of. Usually it has to be in the age bracket of 18 to 24 or something like that. And the older that he gets, the harder it is to find. Because the only girls that he has to pick from that are like a funnel of girls that come in the Rizzos. It's like the hostess and the waitresses. Yeah, because like I said before, I don't know if it was on podcast where there's like 20 men to every woman in Wimber.
Yeah.
So it's not very fun to do the dating scene, or you have to date a girl with 3 kids or something. It's
either underage or 3 kids.
Yeah, underage or 3 kids is what it is. So you have to pick. You have to pick and choose your life there. If you get out of
it. Do I want to jail, or do I want to pay alimony in the future?
Yeah, or not alimony. Do I want to raise somebody else's kids? Yeah. Basically, do I want to raise this bastard's three kids, and while he's sitting there in the limelight, probably dating some 18-year-old from Wimber? I don't know. But anyway, back to the point. I ramble on. Great song. Craig, I'm sure my dad did it out of the kindness of his heart, and you should thank him. You should send him a card. You should make an extra. How about, I know what you could do. You could give my mom a quart of wedding soup from Rizzo's. That would make them happy.
There you go.
So that's my unfinished business. So
just wanna add
Brian
on
wants to add something on.
Yeah. Craig, this isn't Sheets. You don't go up there and it's not an MTO. You can't just like say, this is how I want it and I want it now. Like Delling said, he's doing this because he's just that good of a guy. You can't say, well, you're doing a great job, but if you did it like this, it'd be a little bit better. On top of that, Doug is very, let's see how I want to put this. I don't want to say frugal, but he's very financially observant, and he understands how money works. And he's a smart shopper. And as soon as you said that to him, I don't want the raisins, he's thinking, you little cheap son of a bitch, you want all the cashews and you don't want the raisins. You know how much raisins are? Raisins are like, you can probably get a whole box for a couple pennies. Cashews, 5 cashews is like $3.
Right.
So he's crunching numbers in his head, and he's thinking like, this little shit's gonna put me, in debt by doing something that I'd like to do for people. So I would have, if you're gonna say anything, just say hold the raisins. Don't say I only want cashews.
Right.
Man, I can't believe this. Where do you get off, sir? Where do you get off? But Doug, being the good chap that he is, he's going to turn the other cheek and he's going to make you those chocolates. I told Dentley, I was like, you should only get raisin candy for the next 5 years. And you can give them to Bob or whoever it is. And then finally, if you say it again, like, oh, you accidentally gave me raisins, pack more raisins in there. So until you understand that it's not because he forgot, it's because he's doing it intentionally. And on top of that, maybe just give you an entire chocolate box full of raisins. No chocolate. That would be great.
I was just thinking maybe just give him a box with 1 cashew in it.
Ooh.
And a bunch of rocks. So you find the cashew.
Right.
Yeah, so the weight is right. He thinks he doesn't open it at work. He opens it when he gets home.
All I have to say is I hope that you are happy and satisfied with every cashew that you eat, and you know that you're draining Doug's bank account.
Yeah, my dad is retired. He doesn't have a nice pension. He didn't work for the government.
Oh, wait,
he did.
That's not the point.
That's besides the point. He doesn't live in a well-to-do neighborhood.
And I'll tell you this, Craig. I'll be the first to admit, do I get as crazy about the ones with raisins? No. But I eat them, and I like them.
And we thank you for it.
Yeah.
And 30 KGs.
Oh, no, he didn't. Tonto Bull edition.
Tonto Bull edition of, what is this called again? Oh, no, he didn't.
I just said that.
Oh, sorry, I repeat myself. All right. This one goes out for Gags. Oh, no, he didn't on the line app. Gags goes, is it bad that I want Det to win now that he called my team shit? And, Brian made a comment too. But, actually, now I think, not at all, Gags. I'm hoping for an epic East vs. West Tonto Bowl. I still think Crick is going to pull it out, though.
That's true.
Gents.
Head versus heart.
Head versus heart. And then I reply with, your team is shit. You have no QB. Wide receivers are just pretty boys that have no grit, no guts, are afraid to go over the middle, and Craig is right. Can't even believe I'm saying it. Even in the playoffs, you're facing the shittiest points against I've ever seen. And then Gags comes back, goes bonkers on me, goes, then change it! Exclamation point. Brian and Crick are the only ones to score over 160 against me, and that's somehow my fault? You can disrespect my first championship all you want. I can't even remember his first championship. But the road to where I am now is as much your fault as anyone else. Lowest scores against is all of your fault, not mine, so don't think for a second you could say that this would again be a paper championship if it comes to that. I made all the right moves, scored the most, had the best record, and have very favorable matchups in the championship round by design. It would be a joy to shove it down your throat if you get there, and if I should lose to you, I will take it like a man and congratulate you on a good win. And this is kind of funny because right in the beginning, it would be a joy to shove it down your throat if you get there. And then if I should lose, I'll take it like a man and congratulate you on a good win. Like he's total opposite ends of the spectrum there. And then I go, it's not my fault at all, sir. I beat you already, which I did. So he said, just win first and we'll see what you can do when it matters. Either way, you and Kevin are going to move over and make room at your table for two. Bloody unlikely, Gags. I went on to say, me and Kevin don't want you there because we sweat too much already.
Ah.
But, well, no, so that was the no, you didn't. Listen, Gags, I'm here. If you want to talk, let's talk. You want to bring your little AB game? Maybe Julio Jones plays, maybe not. We'll see what happens, but I'm not going to sit there and like say I'm going to shove my foot up your ass like you want me to. I'm not going to try to get you riled up, Gags.
Although you did call his team shit.
Well, it's because it's been performing like shit. And that was like one sentence.
It does sound like you're trying to poke the bear.
It was one sentence, Brian, and then I gave my reasons, and then he went and did 3 paragraphs.
I hear you. I mean, it's good banter. It's good banter leading up to Tonto Bowl. I'm not going to lie.
It is. I love the fire.
Yeah.
I love that Gags is really worked up. I like it because he's usually quiet because he's doing so well, and then all of a sudden he's letting his anger and being upset at how his team is performing the last couple of weeks get the best of him.
That's right. You know, and that might be why they call him the generator, because
The generator.
the power from his team has completely gone out. So now he has to kick on the generator, and that's about all. He's working off the generator, basically. That's the only thing providing energy to his team.
He is. I like it. The generator.
But in all seriousness, like, he does have a formidable team, and we'll get to that in the matchup. But I hope there's a little bit more smack talk going back and forth here, going to the championship, because I told you before you got here, or before we started, I do think this is more or less the best East Coast team, Gags for sure, going up against the best West. I picked Crick, and I was wrong, but I still think Gags had the best overall power ranked team. And you're probably in there with like 3 or 4 overall, and you had the best West Coast team. And although you said maybe Craig did,
Craig had a pretty good team.
yeah. But of the teams that made the playoffs, I'd say you probably had the best, well-rounded team. So it's a good match. You know, it's a head-to-head heavyweight. It's not a welterweight. It's not a lightweight. This is a heavyweight match.
True. I wish I had I didn't have it with me. I was working, I didn't have time to find it, but the Venus Talking excerpt where Kevin and Bigler were talking about my team and how I had a really good team. It was really good and I built it well.
That episode was all about praising you, man. It was sickening.
Or was it prophetic?
Maybe.
But the
Pathetic?
No. Perfect. But you threw me off my game here a little bit. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, he didn't. Unfinished business. Gags, I built my team from the ground up. I did my draft. Me and you are different. I make a solid team from day one. You have to do 78 trades to get there.
Yeah.
Sure, I only made one trade. I traded Tennessee Titans D for Deshaun Jackson, just as a flyer. So yeah, sure, why not? And everybody's laughed at me. Why would anybody want Deshaun Jackson? He's boom or bust. He's nothing. He's terrible. No speed anymore. Well, guess what the reason is I'm here? Deshaun Jackson. And I'm riding the hot hand.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm going to save it for the matchups. It's specifically about the matchups with Gags, so I'll save it for this week's matchup.
Okay.
Should we get on to the matchups, Dowling?
Yes.
So why are we clapping so much?
Well, we're clapping out the two.
Because you made the Tonto Bowl?
No. I'm just being quiet about that. Real Greg Lloyd like.
That's right.
He's gonna stare at you through the locker room.
James Harrison.
James Harrison, Greg Lloyd, they're almost the same person. Jack Lambert. No, we are clapping because Josh and Jim Crick lost in the playoffs, and also we forgot Tree Size last week.
How can you forget Tree Size?
I mean, yeah, he's a very great personality. Always the loudest person in the room. Definitely nowhere near Vanilla Jeff. So, we felt we should bring it. We got to include him. So
I forgot Tree Size probably because he forgot himself. He pretty much wrote himself off, just like Josh wrote himself off during this semifinal round. So I think they made their own bed, they dug their own grave, and then they just jumped right in. And that's why we forgot about it.
True. And would that mean that like Jimmy Crick gets the Romo jersey?
No, I think Treese still gets that.
Still gets it?
He made it to the playoffs and then just laid an egg.
Oh yeah, but he wasn't like first place. He started laying an egg before this playoffs.
True.
Crick was laying like 200-point games like nothing. Like it was his business, you know. Then he had the bye week and.
We'll save it for the post like Tonto Bowl episode.
Okay, it also might. The post Tonto Bowl episode might also be like the draft analysis after Jimmy Huber does the
that
thing.
could be a great episode.
It could be, yeah.
All right, so we're clapping out Crick. We're clapping out Josh.
Yep, and Tree Size.
And Tree Size. So we obviously Tree has nothing to play for. I think I beat him. Doesn't really matter. But on a side note, I would have beaten Gags or Crick. I just had to throw that in there because Craig would.
Yes.
But let's see here. They have something to play for. They're playing for third place. They're playing for well, it's not third place. It's Bean Place.
That's right. It's Bean Place. It's free money, basically. He doesn't have to pay next year.
And you know, Josh was eyeing that up like 2 weeks ago.
Was he?
Yeah,
I bet he
oh,
was.
Yeah. He was like, I have no chance at the Tonto Bowl. He's like, I'm all in for third place. So.
This is his Super Bowl.
It is. So Josh, you did it, man.
You made it, Josh. Congratulations.
He's like, if only I can lose the semifinal.
And you almost got yourself into the Tonto Bowl.
That's right. And I don't want to hear like, oh, you're always like ripping on my team. No, you ripped on your own team. We're just reinforcing it.
Yeah, I mean, it's all matchups. I mean, if you would have not played against Denver, Brady and Edelman,
Yeah.
I think you would have crushed Gags.
Me too. It just definitely worked out in his favor.
Yep.
So, good luck, gentlemen, for next year, and third place, obviously. But there can be only one, and there are two left.
We will find out.
So, which matchup should we do first?
I think we should do Josh and Jim's.
All right.
Okay.
All right, let's look at this third place matchup here real quick.
All right, we have the Mighty Midgets versus the Twerk Kabisic.
And we got Aaron Rodgers going up against Tom Brady.
I'm going to go with Tom Brady.
Likewise, Aaron Rodgers, man, he has really laid quite a few eggs here in the playoffs.
Yes, he has. It's his MO.
Discount double check or whatever.
Discount double check. But to be fair, my eyes lit up on that last pass to Jordan Nelson.
That was
Chicago.
Yeah. You were hoping for the touchdown, weren't you?
Well, I went back to work thinking it was overtime, and I went shit overtime.
Right.
And then I saw that and the thing, I thought it was overtime. I was like, oh, he just got a couple more points. And then I learned that it was to Jordy and it was before overtime to win the game. I was like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So next we have Allen Robinson versus Julian Edelman.
We'll give that to Edelman.
I will give that to Edelman as well. Now we got Dez Bryant versus Quincy Enunwa. I'm going to go Dez Bryant.
Yeah, we'll go with Desi. Jamison Crowder going against Stephon Diggs.
I'm going Jamison Crowder.
I'll go Diggs.
All right, let's go with Carlos Hyde versus Thomas Rawls.
Yeah, we'll go with Hyde against LA.
I'm going to go with Hyde as well, actually.
All right, and we got Farrow versus Murray.
I'm going to go with Murray.
I'll go. I'm going to go Farrow against Cleveland.
How quickly Farrow's projections went from like 14 point whatever last week to 3.44 this week.
What was it last week? Like 14?
14.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So definitely I'm going with Murray.
Yeah. And we still have Barnage there in the tight end spot for Josh, probably because he has to, right?
Barnage is still in the playoffs.
Yeah, he's still in the playoffs. That's insane. And the only touchdown he had was whenever I beat Bigler, which I'm sure Bigler won't forget. Going against Delaney Walker. I'm going to go Walker.
I'm going to go Walker as well. And let's go the flex position, David Johnson versus Jay Ajayi.
Yep. Jay Ajayi?
J-E? J-E? Is that what you're picking?
Yeah, no, I'm going to go DJ.
Yeah, I'm going to go J-A-G-E.
Are you really?
Yeah, it's going against Dave Johnson's going against Seattle.
With it.
A jiggy with it. Yeah, sure, why not?
Okay.
I think Buffalo is an easy team to run on. Le'Veon Bell proved it.
He did.
236 yards.
Jimmy won't remember that Crick. He won't forget that one. Jim Crick I'm sorry, Huber. Yeah, from the sidelines.
Well, I'm sure Jimmy's on the sidelines thinking, God, if I would just listen to the podcast as a power and flexed Bell the whole season, I'd probably be in the championship game maybe, or I would have been in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But no, I fell apart. Fell apart.
Hey, you watch it. You won't get Dr. Doom.
Oh, he has to give me Doctor. He knows Doctor Doom. I am Doctor Doom.
All right. Okay, you got to go Vinatieri.
Vinatieri in defense.
Oh, let's see here. I'm going to go. I don't know. I'm randomly going to go for Cincinnati.
I will go for Cincinnati too because I want it to be a shootout between Carolina and Atlanta, minus Julio Jones.
All right. Who are you going to take this? Of course, you don't want Julio playing.
No.
Who are you going to give this to? Who are you going to give third place to? And who will be forgotten as, the bubble boy forever? Josh, how many third places does he have already?
I just think one.
I think he at least has two.
Two? I don't know. It's between him and Bean. Bean has like 3 or something. I'm going to go in a close one. I'm going to take Crick.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you on that one. I know Josh is projected to win by just a little bit, but yeah, I'm going to give Crick. I think Crick makes it out with $40, and Josh comes back to the draft if he shows up in fourth place with nothing to show for it.
Josh, you better show with your head held high.
That's right. And don't forget my $10 over Christmas.
$10?
Yeah, we made a bet. We each owe the $10.
Oh, brother. Seriously? You guys both owe each
And
other?
I'm giving him 1,000 pennies.
I hope you do. I would love to see that. I'd love to have that video. Him handing $10 and then you handing 10,000 pennies.
No, 1,000 pennies.
Oh, I'm sorry. I said
I do
10,000.
not want to give him $100. That would be, yeah.
My math skills are somewhat bad right now.
You're really good at counting to 21.
Well, it's 10 p.m. I did 8 hours of counting math. Counting math. That's what I do. I count math.
Count math. Wow, we gave 8 minutes to this piece of crap matchup.
All right, moving on.
This week's matchups, Tonto Bowl 14. Get some.
All right, boys, this is what everybody plays for. This is what you wake up for in the morning on those cold December mornings.
This is what you dream about when you roll over and look at your wife. Well, I wish I was on the Tonto Bowl.
Don't tell Crystal. It's true. So, Detling, how do you feel? Gags isn't here. How does it feel to be in Tonto Bowl 14?
It feels fucking great, Brian. I haven't been here in so long. It feels like it's my first one.
You know,
It feels like it's my Pro Bowl. Like I'm in Hawaii, looking at the ocean, trying to get laid, all that good stuff.
Do you realize that you have not been here since you were in your 20s?
Oh, I realize it, Brian. Yes, I do. I had more hair too. Everything like that.
I'm pretty sure that George W. Bush was president.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe
7.5, 8 years.
Clinton.
Yeah.
For first one, maybe.
No, it wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that bad?
No.
All right. All it means to me is that I've known you guys a hell of a way too long.
Yeah. So you got a lot riding on this, and you've got some key decisions to make. So, do you have your final lineup set, or are you still tweaking it?
I'm still on the edge with like one or two moves, but for the most part, it is finalized.
Was this mind games?
Oh no, I would never tell you to play Adrian Peterson and expect you actually have you do it.
I mean, I think you should play him again.
I think so. Versus Green Bay, he was only getting eased in the first time. This time it's full bottle, full throttle.
Full bottle throttle.
That's right.
All right, do you want to go over these matchups?
I do, Brian. First off, it's none other than Dumb Spyro Sparrow. While I breathe, I hope.
Going up against From Gags to Riches, Michael Gayon Gags.
Gay on.
Did you just go middle school on us?
I did. Well, he's the one telling me he's going to shove it down my throat, the sick bastard. I was all just like, good luck, Gags. I hope you don't beat me too bad.
All right, well, it's East versus West. Who's going to make the drive? Hopefully not me.
Hopefully not me either.
Yeah. All right, let's start it off with quarterback. Starting for Gags, we've got Cam Newton.
Cam Newton versus Kirk Cousins, the Cuzmeister.
And Cam Newton, you talked about his receivers being crybabies. He might be the biggest crybaby of them all. Talking about how you don't protect me, and player safety crap.
Well, that's kind of true. They don't protect him, right?
It's true, but I'm just saying he cries. And he's also the man who thinks he's above the law. He won't wear a tie when he's going on a road trip. You know?
Right. It's like, what is this, 7th grade Wimmer football? You wear your ties. You don't complain.
The rules are the rules, all right?
You know, but you're not better than anybody.
So what is the rule if, let's say he doesn't wear his tie this week, and they start Derek Anderson and he throws another pick, does he have to take those points? Probably not.
No, but if that was the case, Gags loses 30 points in the matchup. It's a little known rule I inserted. It was an amendment, or is it what they call it at the end of when you stick at the end of the bill? An amendment. There's an amendment to the keeper rule that everybody signed off on. So might call me the amendment king, Craig.
All right, who you taking for quarterback?
I'm taking Kirk Cousins.
Chicago's not the greatest matchup, and it's going to be at Soldier Field.
Right.
And we got Cam Newton playing there over in Carolina, but I'm still going to give it to Cousins. I don't have any faith in Newton. I really don't.
Well, I mean, how do you beat a quarterback, Brian?
Well, I believe you start the receiver.
Best receiver who's none other than Greg Olson.
Yeah, well, even though he's a tight end, but we'll get there. Are we jumping right to tight ends?
No, I'm just saying.
Okay.
I got one of your receivers.
All right, starting at wide receiver.
I'd also like to say I want it to be a very run-heavy matchup versus Atlanta.
Of course you do.
Big whole lot of John Stewart. I'll even take the black Kevin Bean.
Save it. The black Kevin Bean.
Yeah, Mike Tolbert.
You just earned the Redskins pen. All right.
No,
We've got.
no way. Craig has it all sewn up with his big FU tirade.
I think you're right, actually. Yeah. All right, we've got Antonio Brown going up against.
I thought you didn't pick a quarterback. Going up against Jordy Nelson.
All right.
Scrappy white guy.
Yeah, that is true. And I can't go against my boy AB.
I can. I'm going Jordy, baby.
Of course you are against Minnesota.
Yeah, AB is going to be against Baltimore. They're going to be double teaming him the whole time. I'm saying they're going to force him to beat us with the run.
And they probably will, but I think AB is going to get his. I think he's going to get one touchdown at least.
I'm rooting against it. I'm hoping Ladarius Green is out of concussion protocol.
Oh, good. All right, the next receiver, we've got Julio down by the schoolyard going up against.
I'm not sorry, Amari Cooper.
Ooh, nice. You just make that up.
I did. On the fly.
You realize his last 2 weeks he's laid 2 eggs.
Oh, I realized it, Brian.
And you're still in Tauntable.
I'm still in the Tauntable, and I am fully ready for Amari to unleash versus the Colts.
All right.
I think Carr is going to be like, hey, man, I got you this week. Don't you worry. It's going to be another Joe Horn type of night.
And
4 touchdowns.
It's possible. He's due for a breakout game, and the Colts are definitely the team to do it against.
Mm-hmm. And we don't even know if Julio Jones is playing. He got a stub toe.
We don't.
Because he's a puss.
I am going to give it to Julio Jones.
Of course you are.
I mean, he's pure talent. Cooper, I think he could win it, but I'm giving it to Julio.
Okay.
Sorry.
You're entitled to your
Who are
opinion.
you taking?
I told you I'm taking Amari Cooper.
Okay, good. All right. We got DT going up against
DJ.
D-Jax.
D-Jax, as I like to say.
All right. And Thomas is going up against KC, and then D-Jax is going against Chicago, man. And you've got to ride that, don't you?
I'm riding, man. D-Jack train all the way. Taking me there, baby. We're going to the promised land. Let's go, Jackson.
He's boom or bust, but
He's amazing. Did you see that catch? I showed you that catch.
yeah, you did. It was incredible. It was absolutely incredible.
It was.
I don't know. I'll give that to D-Jax because going up against KC, at KC, yeah, I don't know. I'm going to give that to D-Jax. I think he gets one more long touchdown.
I think so. I'm hoping for an 80-yard bomb, man. To put a little thorn in his side of what he Gags is. That was really bad. sorry, Gags.
Cut.
I'm really bad at this trash talk thing. I'm hoping D-Jack puts a thorn in your side, man.
Ooh, that cuts. That hurts.
Gotcha.
All right, going on to running back. We'll just pretend that didn't happen. And some reason, your app just went completely blank.
It did.
But I do know that we had Easy E going up against
Weird. Jonathan Stewart.
Jonathan Stewart. And we've got Easy E playing against
Detroit. On Monday night.
On Monday night. And we've got Jonathan Stewart
Playing against Atlanta on Saturday. That's weird to say.
That is so weird. You can't go against the rookie running back of the year. Going to Easy E. Detroit's pretty good against the run, but I'm still gonna give it to Easy. They feed him the ball.
I hate when he does that stupid feed me thing.
Yeah.
All right, I'll let Easy have one. That's the thing. I know if this matchup before Monday night, I got to have at least a 35-point cushion
To
to
actually
feel comfortable. And
Yeah.
even then, I'll be sweating
Yeah.
bullets. And my thing still has not come back. What is going on? Like I said, hold on 1 second, guys. Technical difficulties.
All right, and the next running back position we have Frank Gore back in the slot going up against.
Kenneth Dixon. Gore versus Oakland. Dixon versus Pittsburgh.
I got to give that to Gore. I really do. Dixon, I mean, he might be a decent running back, but Pittsburgh is really good against the run.
Okay, I'm going to go back and change my mind. I'm giving it to Jonathan Stewart versus Easy E.
Wow, how are you going back on that?
God, I'm not giving him 2 running backs. Jonathan Stewart's going to blow up versus Atlanta. 2 touchdowns. And then I'm going to give him Frank Gore.
Wow, he's doing that just because he doesn't want to give you both running backs.
You're damn right.
But in his mind, in his brain, he really thinks Easy is going to take that down. His heart, no.
Easy's due to have a bad game. Going to give Alfred Morris, Lance Dunbar, Darren McFadden some carries.
We shall see. All right, going in the tight end spot, we've got Travis Kelce going up against Greg Olson. He's questionable. What's going on with that?
I do not know, Brian.
I hope it's not serious for your sake.
There's nothing serious about it. No way.
All right, maybe
He's He-Man. He's the most reliable tight end in the game.
Oh.
You got Gronk, not reliable at all.
Well, not this year.
I bet starting to be every year, Brian. Greg Olson doesn't miss games.
All right, I'm going to go Greg Olson just because we got Kelce. Well, I'd take him anyways, but Kelsey's going against Denver. That's tough. That's
It
tough.
is versus those linebackers, man.
Yeah,
Von Miller going to eat him up.
I know. I mean, maybe that was one of the things that Gags was talking about. He was trying to make those matchups count during the Tonto Bowl. Was he talking about Kelce versus Denver?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. He's like, I planned this. I designed it. Kelsey versus Denver is a lock.
Watch him go off.
All right. I'll be so mad.
In the flex, we've got Devontae Adams going against Minnesota.
We
Another great matchup.
You pick Greg Olson?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Okay, I'm picking Greg Olson as well.
Yeah, we know.
He-Man. By the power of Grayskull.
All right, we've got Devontae Adams going up against.
Tyler Eifert or Willie Snead?
All right, you asking me?
No, yeah, Brian. I'm asking for, as Kevin Bean likes to say, I'm asking for a friend.
That's right. Who's New Orleans playing?
Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I'd probably go Snead.
For a friend.
Yeah, for a friend.
Friend.
I'd probably go Snead, but then again, Eifert has potential, man. He's got a lot of upside.
True. Maybe I'll text Kevin Bean for a friend later on and discuss it with my friend.
All right, in this scenario, I'm going to give it. Honestly, I'm going to give it to Eifert or Snead. I
Right.
don't like Adams going up against Minnesota.
No?
Nah.
I hope you're right. This is a home game, though. It's the scary part.
Yeah.
I hope Devontae Adams falls back to earth. I hope it's a Randall Cobb and Jordy Nelson game like it should be. Should have never been Devontae Adams. He's a third receiver. That's what you're supposed to be. Stay in that third receiver role.
Know your role.
Know your role. That's right.
All right. If you ran a business and somebody wanted to like move up the ladder, you would just like shoot them down. You'd be like, "No, you've always been a clerk. You will always be a clerk. You were born to be a clerk. You'll never be like middle management."
It's true. I will be looking for the perfect Randall. And I'm not even supposed to be here today. So I would allow for a self-improvement.
Okay.
So,
All right. Gotta go Goskowski.
you're out of your mind. You gotta go Tucker. Going against Pittsburgh. It's gonna be field goals and nothing but field goals and hippies in Pittsburgh.
All right, and then we've got New England going up against the Jets.
Seattle versus Arizona.
That's going to be a really huge defensive struggle there. But I am going to give this to, I think, the Patriots against the Jets. The Jets, who's their quarterback again? Barker. And
Barker?
Bilal Powell is
Petty.
like their best player right now.
I think they're bringing back Fitzpatrick.
Are they really?
I think so. I think Petty
You're
got
going to
hurt.
need some Fitz magic.
I will need some Fitzmagic.
Yeah.
I did this by design, Gags. I had Fitzpatrick on my bench before when I started the season. Now he's off the season. Now he's going to help me destroy you and all that jazz. Because, you're all about designs and your matchups and stuff like that. So I'm going Seattle. It's a rematch, the 6-6 game from week whatever, which was a pretty points, great for defensive points. And I'm predicting that Seattle's going to get fired up for this one. They want to beat Cardinals in their home field.
And I don't think it's going to be like a blowout either way. I think that it's going to be close. I think New England and Seattle, I think they're both going to get really good defensive points. I do.
I do too. Plus, this game actually, Russell Wilson can actually move this time.
Yeah.
As opposed to where he's like playing on one leg. So, yeah, you're.
Now, I think Craig is like hacking our Yahoo football account while we're podcasting. All right, Dylan, we've looked at all the players, at all the matchups. Now it comes down time to choose the winner. I'm really going to hold my breath on this one. Who do you think is going to win Tonto Bowl 14? Will you get your third, or will Gags get his second?
I'm pulling for myself, Brian. I'm pulling for myself the whole year. Not many people backing me. I'm a lone wolf, except for Bigler. Bigler's with me, so I guess I'm not a lone wolf. I have my little pack. We're
small pack.
Very small pack, but we're dangerous. You don't want to mess with us. Bigler, he's suave, he's smooth, and he can cut you. You won't even see it coming. He'll sleep with your wife.
All right, so tell me, that's true. Tell me why you win. Like, what's the tipping point? Like,
what's the tipping point?
Yeah, like,
we doing a little Malcolm Gladwell here?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. The tipping point will be actually Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper, I'm predicting Amari Cooper versus the Colts. He goes off, thinking David Carr says, hey man, we got you this time. This is your day. It's all about you. It's going to be sexy, and we're going to make Detling win.
All right, so you're saying Cooper for the win.
Cooper for the win.
You want to give us a point total projection?
For my team or both teams?
Both.
I'm going to go 178 to 142.
Wow, you think Gags lays another egg?
I do.
Wow. Well, I am actually, not just because I will be, avoiding driving to the East Coast, I am picking your team.
Oh, my.
And it's not because you've shamed me into it, but I'll tell you why. And I've said this for a long time, and I think that Gags made a few too many trades early on, and I think that the fact that he has to choose between Cam Newton and Andy Dalton, there is not a good choice there. There's not a good answer.
You'd think if you were doing designs and matchups for the championship round that you would pick Andrew Luck versus the Oakland Raiders defense.
Absolutely. You took the words out of my mouth. Andrew Luck against the Raiders would be beautiful because he's playing really well right now. T.Y.'s doing great. And yeah, like you want a quarterback's quarterback, if you know what I mean,
right.
Like a man's quarterback. The other move that I think will come back to haunt him is getting rid of Denver D. I really think. I don't remember who Denver's playing this week.
Kansas City.
Oh, Kansas City. But I just think you want to go in with your greatest defense possible. I know he's got a good matchup with the Jets, but the two positions you need something really stacked: quarterback, defense, and he gave away both. And I think when he gave away both, he gave away his chance to win Tonto Bowl 14. He's got those stud receivers, and he's got some stud running backs, especially with EZE, but I don't think it's enough. And I think that you win it, and I don't want to inflate your ego too much, but I think you top 200.
I would love the top 200. That would be crazy.
I think Gags does well. I think he scores somewhere in the 170s, 180s. But I think that you win this and you take home your third championship. So I'm not going to ask you about what you plan to do when you win because I know you wouldn't even answer it if I did.
That's right. I will not answer you.
You won't tell me what you're going to cook if you host, right?
Right.
That's right. Because, we're not going to go down that rabbit hole. It's the way you lose.
That is right. I'm not going to count my chickens before they're hatched.
That's right.
All I'd like to say is that it's a shame that this whole fantasy football thing is being held on Christmas.
Yeah.
For the kids.
Because Gags, he might be crying and his kid's going to be like, Dad, what's wrong? Dad, didn't you get what you wanted? Like, I got you, like, I made you this beautiful present in art class. Like, I thought
I
you
made you a
liked it.
fishing lure. It was working. Here's my video of it with the music playing. But all serious, it just sucks. It's on Christmas. One of us is going to get a gift that we love. The other one's going to get a lump of coal. I'm not going to be a Grinch or anything like that, but I will tell you, Gags, no matter what happens with the game, of course, will be decided the probably if
Monday
it's
night.
decided Monday night, or it could be decided by Christmas. Who knows, depending on if your team blows up.
Yeah.
But I'd like to tell you, Merry Christmas to you and your family. The same to everybody else. Merry Christmas
Yeah,
to you
Merry
and your
Christmas.
families.
You filthy animals.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal. But yeah, I hope everybody has a good one and gets some gifts that they enjoy.
Yep. And it's been a great season. We'll do one more show probably after Jimmy does the draft
pick,
order.
yeah.
Yeah, that'll be more fun. And we'll go over who we think deserve each of the demises. So we'll do demises, and we'll do like a little bit of analysis of the draft order.
Yeah.
And also a little bit. We'll steal Craig's thunder. We'll do a little bit of a Tonto Bowl recap. Though
Oh,
it could be short if you lose.
true. It could be long. I mean, I might bitch and moan.
That's right. Yeah, I think it'll be long either way. And it probably will be longer if you lose.
Yeah.
Guaranteed it'll be longer if you lose.
A little heartbreaking, little tears.
That's right. But yeah, I hope everybody has a great holiday. And I'm looking forward to next year already. If Jimmy Huber were to say something right now, he'd say, like, this is the best league ever.
Yeah,
Happy to be
yeah.
the commissioner.
True.
And let's do it again next year.
Let's do it again next year.
And but who's going to be the happiest on Christmas Day? Josh, if he wins third place.
He will be. He will be the happiest, actually. He'll be like, I don't have to pay for anything. It's awesome.
Yep. And last question: do you think you're gonna have Pyrex under your tree?
I'd be very shocked if I had any Pyrex under my tree. I think I burnt that bridge.
Yeah.
But if it was made by Josh, and the bridge was made out of Pyrex, I bet I could not burn that bridge no matter how hard I tried. Because
Wow.
Josh is
Wow.
a great chemical engineer, and he makes the best Pyrex out of anybody in the whole land.
Wow, make Tonto's demise great again. Donald Trump would say something like that, just to inflate somebody's ego a little bit. So
Very true.
I think that is why Deadly will win, because that meme was created. Make Tonto's demise great again.
Also, it's like Brian is a politician. He's doing the Bob Dole with the pen.
Read my lips. I know that's George Bush. But yeah, we'll see. I'm really excited to see who wins. I won't be glued to it on Christmas Day, but I'll be checking.
Well, I mean, it's Saturday. You'll be glued to.
Oh, that's true.
I'll be working. Hopefully, I'm in the high limit room.
All right, you ready, Deli?
I'm always ready, Brian.